Hello, my name is Jasmine. So, this is my new show. I'm with Intellectual Radio. It's called Coffee Time with Jasmine. And I know you're wondering why coffee. Well, honestly, I love coffee. I'll drink it any time of the day, night, morning, but I really try to stay away from it during the night because then you're up all night. But I really like coffee. And as you can see, I do have coffee here right now. And I'm more of like an iced coffee person. So, I'll drink caramel. I also add a little coconut creamer. I know it's really weird, but I'm really a coconut person. So there you go, little facts about myself. And I also love getting my nails done. You're gonna see me doing all this with my hands and stuff, and I really love getting my nails done and stuff like that. I love nails. But enough about me. So this is Coffee Time with Jasmine. We're gonna talk about news stuff and everything that's going on around in our culture, honestly. And what I really wanted to talk about today is the election. Yes, the election was like 2 weeks ago, and yes, everyone's like Joe Biden is winning. I get that, but what you don't understand is what's happening behind the scenes. Trump is still thinks he has a fighting chance, and he has three states that he's doing recounting right now. So that's Michigan, Georgia, and Wisconsin. When I tell you Trump spent $2 million on a recount of Wisconsin's votes, I said 2 million. That's mind blowing. $2 million to recount votes. And I definitely understand, like, obviously he has that right and all of that. I get that. Go ahead, do that. But it's like we're going through a pandemic and you're wanting to spend $2 million to count votes. And we're obviously waiting out on the outcome and stuff like that. But in Milwaukee, he's the states that I'm sorry, the counties that he's are recounting are 20% black, and the counties are Milwaukee and Dane County. And on Wednesday, after they recounted everything, Biden won by over 20,000 votes. So it's like, was it a waste of $2 million? Yes, yes, it was. It was. Because at the end of the day, he still ended up beating Trump there, and he spent money for no reason to me personally. And like I'm stating, like, yes, this is coffee time with Jasmine, and this is going to be more so my point of view. But the thing is, I'm going to bring facts, and I'm bringing these sources and facts from CNN right now. So just letting you know, yes, it's my opinion, but I'm also sourcing everything I'm saying because at the end of the day, I want to make sure I'm stating the right things. So, like I was saying, Biden officially won Wisconsin by over 20,000 votes, and once again, Trump paid 2 million for that, and I definitely think those funds could have went to other things that's going on right now. Some of the things that Trump claimed why Wisconsin was not doing the right things and why he wanted to recount was that he was stating people were not being ID'd when they're coming to vote, and or if it's a lot of the problems that were happening were the mail-in votes. I don't know, a lot of people were keeping up with that, and I was definitely keeping up for like the whole week. But the biggest problem was the mail-in votes, and obviously those take time. And he was stating, or the Trump campaign, let me say, the Trump campaign was stating that they had officials there that were saying they were not taking the IDs in order to get their mail-in ballots and stuff like that. And obviously they investigated it and everything, and that was not the truth at all. So him coming up with like lies and stuff like that, it just honestly really sad because it's like you don't want to leave even though you know you're losing and you're trying to spend all this unnecessary money. And like that's what I really want to come back to. He's spending unnecessary money where money can be spent in other ways. Like once again, we're going through a pandemic, and it's like we're recounting votes and it's like people are homeless, people are losing their jobs, and it's like this money could be spent in other ways. But anyway, like I was saying, Wisconsin, Biden won. It was done on Wednesday. The other state that he's getting recounted in is Georgia. And also, so right now, during the counting and stuff, Trump campaign sent people down there to recount and also filed a lawsuit in Georgia as well. And I really can't say much about that because it's still ongoing. Because obviously, recounting It's going to be more rigorous and the second time around. So they're still recounting. Georgia is not done yet. And if you were keeping up with the electoral votes and the whole thing overall that whole week when they're counting, Trump was winning, and he was winning by a lot. Like it was crazy. He was winning by a lot, especially in Pennsylvania. He was winning by $100,000. I mean, sorry, 100,000 votes, and that's mind blowing that he won. He lost by 80. So it's like he's really mad right now. But the thing is, all those mail-in votes took time, and Joe Biden the whole time during the whole race, he was like do mail in votes because obviously pandemic. So the whole time Joe was like, do mail in votes, it's safer and all this other stuff. And then the Trump campaign was like, no, go in and vote. And obviously that's way faster. Those results were fast. And what took forever, like I said, it was the mail in votes. And a bunch of those, and people, both campaigns knew where these votes were coming from. They're coming from the Democratic Party. More Democrats were going to do mail in votes because Trump campaign was telling people to go in. So as we were not we, but as they were counting the votes and stuff, especially like I stated, Pennsylvania, as they are counting the votes, a lot of these votes were Dem, and Joe Biden was going up like little by little. But honestly, he wasn't going by little because obviously they're doing with machines. It wasn't little; it was like big chunks of votes he was getting. And Trump was like, "This is false," and all this other stuff, and it isn't false. They're doing another investigation, like I stated. That's one of the places they're doing the investigation in, but it's just crazy that he's still not condoning, like he does not want to leave. And he's still tweeting. Like Trump is a big tweeter. Like he tweets all day, every day. He was tweeting the day of elections, after elections. That's what he does. And what Twitter is doing now is they're putting claims and stuff and hyperbations like under it if it's false information. And a lot of Trump's things are false, unfortunately, and a lot of them have to have like warning signs and stuff like that. So, and the Georgia recount information I got from the Washington Post. So, thank you for that. But yeah, those, and I'll update you next week about hopefully by next Wednesday or Monday, they have all those results in. But like I said again, I don't think they're in a rush to recount everything, but then again, they want to get it over and done with. And depending on the percentage wise, Trump will have to pay again in order to recount all those votes. So far he's only paid 2 million in Wisconsin. Just imagine him having to pay in Georgia and then in Michigan and then Pennsylvania. Well, in Michigan he's not doing a recount. He filed a lawsuit about the process they are doing. But in Pennsylvania he is doing a recount. And just imagine he only spent like I said 2 million in Wisconsin. Just how much is going to be in other states. So it's like I know it's not so much of because I know he got his campaign funding from like other corporations and other people who did vote for him. So he's getting all this money from these people and himself as well. But I feel like those funds could go to other places because he only spent 2 million so far. But that's all we know. He probably spent more money, trying to file the lawsuits, pay his campaign, and all this extra stuff just so he does not have to leave the White House or just to be president. So that's fun. Okay. So right now we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And make sure you tune back in with Coffee with Jasmine on Intellectual Radio. Thank you. Made up my mind that it's my time to press on towards the mark that God has for me. I've wiped away my tears and thrown away some fears. I'm standing strong and moving on to what God has for me. For the race is not given to the swift. No, it's not given to the strong. Not even to the but to the one who can hold on. Whoa, you gotta keep moving. You gotta keep pressing on towards the mark God is giving you. That God is giving you. Ooh. is giving you, that God has given you. For the race is not given. Ooh, no, it's not given. Not even to the, but to the one who can hold on. Hold on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Pressing on. Pressing on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Pressing on. Pressing on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep pressing on. Pressing on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Keep pressing on. Pressing on. You gotta just hold on. Don't get weary, hold on. Don't give up, hold on. Hold on to what God has given you. Hello, welcome back to Coffee Time with Jasmine on Intellectual Radio. So, earlier we were talking about elections and everything like that. And one of the biggest things that is connected with elections, I know there's a bunch of things that's connected with it, but one big thing I kind of referred to it earlier is COVID. Like, it's such a big thing. And, like, I feel like honestly, like right now, I think everyone, not just Illinois, but I'm really gonna tune into Illinois because obviously we live in Illinois. But I think everyone forgot about the second wave. Like everyone was going about their days and not thinking about the second wave that was gonna hit like right now. We're in the second wave, and they're actually telling us we're doing worse right now. And it's kind of sad because we were supposed to be prepared. And the one things I'm really like disappointed in is the age group that's getting it the worst, and then we're not more so dying off, but the age group is 20 to 29, and I'm in that age group, and it's like, why are we doing so bad right now? And obviously, a lot of us are not dying from it. I know the other day, and I'm getting my sources from NBC Chicago. But I know the other day, two people in their 30s died. And this was Wednesday, actually. Wednesday, two people in their 30s died from it. And 140 people died that day from it, but only two people in their 30s died from it. So they also stated that people that are more so obviously dying from are older elderly people who are in their 60s, 80s, and 50s. And it's honestly, we're giving it to them, not saying me, but the younger generation is giving it to the older generation, and they can't fight it off. And it's honestly really sad that we're having this whole cycle of that's happening to us. Like we had it back in May, March. That's when the first wave was coming. March, yeah, first wave, and then it got really bad in May, that wave. Now this second wave is way worse. And like I said on Wednesday, that was our highest this week is it was 140 deaths. And that's honestly really sad. And like I said, it younger people are more so getting at the ages 20 and 29. They're seeing it a lot in the colleges, and which we all knew. Like, I don't know, honestly, when they're stating they're going to open the colleges back up and just be more restrictions and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like I was in college at one point, and you want to go out, you want to go to different activities, especially as a freshman. Like my freshman year, so many activities. And when I say it was great because you don't know anyone, like when I went, I didn't know anyone. So all these different activities, I got to know a bunch of people. But it's pandemic time. So you allowing college students to go and not have these events catered to them. So they're just in their rooms. Or I'm really not familiar with what exactly they're doing, but obviously you can't have groups bigger than 10. Well, we're back on that. I know it went up to 25 and now we're back like 10 to 5. And honestly, the governor picture does not want us to gather with anyone at this point, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. They don't want us to gather with anyone. And please keep that in mind if you are gathering with any family members or friends or friendsgiving and stuff like that. Please keep in mind that there is a pandemic going on and this is affecting everyone. And that's the biggest issue, is that it's not just affecting one group, it's affecting everyone. So just keep that in mind for this Thanksgiving and stuff. But back to Illinois. So basically, what's coming up with Illinois is they're going back to, right now we're in tier 3. The governor believes that we will be back on tier 2, or just basically the stay at home type of thing, even though it's very vague on what stores and, well, no, not stores, what companies can and cannot be open. But he's really considering having us stay at home at some point, which I think is honestly the best thing. But like I said, it's the type of stores that he's stating have to be closed is very vague. So most stores that say they have to close are not closing. And then obviously the virus is still affecting everyone if those stores are open and not actually following the rules and stuff. But also, the biggest thing is another is CPS. So Lori Lightfoot said that she really wants to open CPS schools in the year 2021. I really want to know what you guys think about that. Do you think kids can go back to school and follow the restrictions? And when I mean kids, I mean like 8th grade and down, like pre-K and up through 8th grade. And I don't think they have much talk about high school right now, but I'm pretty sure high school is included in that. So let's just include that. So what do you think about, I'm thinking about more so kids being in school, like pre-K, because honestly, kids really don't like things on their face, depending on the kid, but they're gonna be kids at the end of the day. I think that's what I wanna put out there. A kid is going to be a kid. And should a kid go back to school during the pandemic? That's the biggest question. And I know a lot of people that have had kids, and during this pandemic, the biggest problem is finding daycare. Like I remember when they shut down everything. When I say everything, the daycares were closed, schools were closed, at home. I know a lot of people were looking for services for, where are my kids going to stay? Where are my kids going to go? I don't have a babysitter. So I think that's one thing the governor will have to consider if he is going to do that stay at home advisory. That means like the daycares are going to close and stuff like that. So parents are going to have to look for where my kids going to go. And it's just honestly really sad. I'm going over all of these things that, oh, COVID affects this, COVID affects that. And it really is affecting like everything. And I think people don't understand that. Like these big corporations that allow their employees to go to work and not stay at home from work, contacting the virus and stuff like that. Like it's in these companies, it's in you going to the grocery store. And there's limitations, not limitations, there's other ways you can go shopping. You can do curbside pickup or stuff like that, and I just think there's more things we could be doing. And electoral Joe Biden, if he is right now, he is the electoral president right now. We can't say he's for sure the president, but he stated, quote by quote, I am not shutting down the economy, I'm shutting down the virus. I want to see what he's going to do. Obviously, he's not in office just yet. Trump is doing what he's doing. And right now, I really want to see what Joe would do once he is president. What does that mean to you? Like, so we're not going to obviously shut down the economy because that would be really bad. But then again, do I want to lose lives or have the economy be really bad? From my standpoint, and even though I'm not like professional or whatever. But I mean, lives over economy, but that's just me. But, obviously shutting down the economy, I'm not saying shut it down. We can't do that. We have to live. But I think there should be a certain extent of what should be open and what shouldn't be open. I think we need to have those restrictions because why is the bar open? Okay. Like, bar, cool. Like, people want to go to the bar, people want to do X, Y, and Z. I get that. But in DuPage County, the bars are still open. And in Cook County, you can only be outside, but obviously it's getting cold. No one's really going to be outside. But the thing is, shutting down the bars, which I get, shutting down the bars mean no money for the bars. And I've seen places where it's like, I'm not using my bar right now. Why do I have to pay rent for where my company is? And I totally get that. Like, this whole pandemic is like an upstream. It's affecting everyone. But the thing is, like, we don't need a bar right now. Like, yes, have open outside, but that's where they're contacting the virus. And honestly, I'm not going to say just there because you can get it from anywhere. And that's the problem. We don't know, we do know where you can get it from. You can get it from, but the problem is, what do we do shut down and what don't we shut down? Because we don't want to shut down all these bars and restaurants, and then obviously they get kicked out and they can't pay their bills and stuff like that, and then no longer X, Y, and Z company. I think that's really sad. But hopefully, but like I said, I really want you guys to answer the question: do you guys think kids should go back to school? Because in New York, they closed down the schools because the virus has gotten so bad. And they're also saying we haven't reached our peak yet. We won't reach it until Thanksgiving because we know people are still going to hit out on Thanksgiving. So they believe we're going to hit it this week. And New York did shut down their schools because they had a 3% increase or something like that. But they did shut down their schools back down. I didn't even know New York had their schools open. I felt like they wouldn't have them open, but they did have them open, but now they're shut back down. So will CBS go back to school in 2021? I doubt it. I feel like, I don't know, because obviously they've been out and out. Like, that's the other thing. Like, us not having schools open affects the children. Like, I personally like being in the classroom. Like, yes, when I was younger, I was like, "Ugh, I have to wake up and go to school." But no, it's like a whole thing. I get to see my friends, I get to learn new things and stuff like that. But being stuck in their rooms or in their house all day isn't good for them either. Like, they probably can't learn that way. And I think that's what Lori is also stating, is that she wants them to go back into the school because things are way different. Like, maybe the kids are at home and stuff like that. So, like I said, COVID is affecting everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and go into a brighter note. Okay. Let's talk about, well, not that bright of a note because honestly, we're going to talk about some celebrities. So, as many of you may know, Bobby Brown Jr. died on Wednesday. They say that he did have some flu like symptoms, but they're not exactly sure. Obviously, they have to do a whole autopsy and stuff like that. We haven't gotten any updates from that just as of right now, but I am getting my sources from CNN as well. We like CNN, we like NBC, we like these places. But anyway, like I said, Bobby Brown Jr. died on Wednesday. And then also say, like I said, some flu-like symptoms. Is it COVID? Is it not? But we can't really say. Hopefully not. But it also is flu season, so it might have just been the flu because flu and COVID have some of the same symptoms, but obviously COVID is way worse, even though some people want to tell you it's the same thing. No, it's not. Like, there's scientists out there telling you two different things. Not two different things, but one is way worse than the other. You can contact COVID faster than the flu. I mean, COVID spreads faster than the flu. There you go. So got that information, like I said, from CNN. But I just wanted to go over the like Bobby Brown Jr. died on Wednesday. When I say this whole family has had so many deaths in the last couple of years, Whitney Houston died in 2017. Bobby Christina died in 2015. And it's just, and then also Nick Gordon, the half brother, he died January of 2020. Don't get me on the 2020 deaths because honestly, there's a lot of celebs and just people in general. Because let me just not say celebs because the pandemic has been happening the whole year of 2020 and 2019 because it started in October. Hint, hint, but Trump didn't want to tell us. But anyway, but a lot of people have died in the year 2020, and it's really, really sad. But like I was stating, Nick Gordon, he died earlier this year in 2020 of January. And he actually was being held liable for Bobby Christina's death by her father. I did not know that. I was like, "Wow." And they stated that in the article that he had been going through a lot ever since he found out he's actually being held liable for him considering Bobby Christina sister, best friend, all the above. We really, that's a gray area, but he was held liable, and I think that's really sad. And then he died in January as well. And then now, also Bobby Brown, he has 7 kids, and now he only has 4 living, and I think that's really sad. Like, all these people are dying in their family, and it's like not like 10, 20 years apart. Like, it's like 8 years apart in this whole little space. And it's really sad. But anyway, let's get on a brighter note. Now we're on this brighter note. Okay. So we're going to talk about Megan the Stallion. Love her. Everyone always wants to hate on her and her music. And I just think overall, just her as a person, she's beautiful, she's nice, and she's sweet. One of the biggest things I love about her is like she's still in school and she's still doing her music. Obviously, it's way different, but she's still getting her degree and she's still doing music. And I love how she's handling both. And she just came out with a scholarship. Like, can I just say, like, just overall an amazing woman? Like, come on. Like, I just love that she's multitasking both and she's still making bangers. And obviously, she had a hiccup because they're doing allegedly Tory Lanez shot her, so she's having to deal with that as well. But I don't even want to talk about that. Yeah, that's a bump in the road. But Megan herself, she came out with an album on Friday, so if you do want to check her out. But her overall, I just love that she put out that scholarship, like, and then it's for Black women. It's not for everyone and all this other stuff. It's for Black women. Obviously, you have to submit in your application and do a bunch of things, but it's for Black women. And I just love that. She's going back to who she is and who she wants to help and who needs help. And obviously, a lot of people are like, why didn't she do it for Black men as well and stuff like that? And I'm just like, she's a Black woman and she wants to help out her Black women. Why can't she do that? And there's a bunch of programs for Black men, other races overall, but why can't she, as a person, do a scholarship for a Black woman? Because she is a Black woman. I don't know. I think people just critique her overall because she is an amazing person and she is winning right now. She is winning, and people are mad. People are mad, but people are just gonna honestly get over it. So, Megan, the Asylum, thank you. You're an amazing person. But I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to my first show, Coffee Time with Jasmine. Make sure you get coffee every morning because I get coffee every morning. So I just want to leave you with that today. And also, I do have a scripture before I tune off. So, for I know, and this is Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Let me put that out there. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. I want to leave you with that. With all these obstacles going on right now, pandemic, life, just in general, like even if the pandemic is not affecting you, even though it's affecting everyone, God has a plan for you, and all these I'm sorry, obstacles obstacles, all these things that are going on right now will all plan out. God has a plan. But once again, I want to say thank you for tuning in to Coffee with Jasmine. Remember to tune into Intellectual Radio. Thank you.